Hello everyone, and welcome back to Dungeons & Dragons The Second Age. How are we all?
So
Good.
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Excellent.
Well, Arya's less great, but
Arya is less great, but it's fine. Speaking of which, should we jump in with somebody telling us what it is that happened last time?
shit. Every time I forget where we started.
We
Well,
started after the hospital visit.
We started with Kelariis getting arrested.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
Of course.
technically we started back in the archive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but that was
Yeah, I think we just sort of like sealed the thing up and then left, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we I think we met up with Vondal, and then we all were just sort of like, let's go to the. Oh no, wait, yeah. Tritherion was the one who came to us because Kelariis got brought to the police station, the guard station,
Yes.
the guard house, and she was like, Tritherion, go tell the others that I'm fine, but in some shit.
Yeah, something like that.
Come and get the guys to bail me out again.
Please help.
again.
Wait,
and then-
again?
Well, you didn't get bailed out the first time.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got broken out the first time.
So we went to the guard house only to find that Kelariis had already been freed because there was this lady who basically came over and was like, I saw everything and she's right, etc. And yeah, Kelariis basically was released because she did nothing wrong.
Interesting
But
to
it was-
note for those of you who weren't here, it's a peculiar woman with short dark hair.
Nope.
And there was also some other shit where like she walked out of the guardhouse and was given a letter by some guard who was very clearly charmed. And then she read the
Yes.
letter, didn't tell any of us. But it was basically an invitation to come meet the person who bailed her out. Well, not bailed her out, but helps her get out of jail
Yes.
in the middle of the night. And Kelariis kind of just went on her own because she was only instructed not to bring Vondal, but
She would have brought Arya, but Arya was a little busy.
yeah, Arya was a little busy because Arya basically went like fucking missing in action.
AWOL.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we were like, well, Arya's probably off dying somewhere. I hope she's okay.
Well,
Yeah.
It's okay.
It
I sent
turned out to be
you
horribly off.
several messages, and by several I mean 2.
that was
You
several.
did.
Anyway,
That's almost several.
so Kelariis basically snuck out and fucking just managed to beat my passive perception.
Yep.
Can you tell she's
basically
salty?
Met with this woman in a brothel, which was a little awkward. Yeah. And basically this woman revealed herself to be someone who is known as the Mistcaller. And she basically said that she sort of like she controls sort of secrets in the city, what should be known and what shouldn't be known. And I
Mhm.
don't know if I'm explaining this correctly.
Nope.
Uh,
That's correct.
Oh, she meant no, it wasn't.
what?
I thought you meant no, it wasn't. But anyway, carry on.
Yeah, no. And then, yeah, basically the Mistcaller revealed that she also knew some stuff about Adaya Ironclaw, but not everything, and that we had been sort of uncovering more about him than she had been able to, and we only been here for like a week or two, and she has been at it for a while. So she was like, I want you to help me, but you also need to help yourself a little bit because of Kelariis's like ventures, I guess, misadventures. I don't know.
Misadventure sounds a bit more accurate, let's be real.
Yeah.
Just class it into anything that isn't a misadventure.
Hey.
Damn.
Basically, Adaya kind of knew who Kelariis was. He knew that she was a dragonborn. He knew her name and stuff like that, which is not very good. He also knows that there's someone in the Temple of Torm who is kind of trying to figure out stuff about him. So basically, the base caller gave Kelariis a bunch of advice and some magic spells cast on her and stuff to make sure that he wouldn't be able to find us, because if he found us, he would just fucking ambush us and kill us. So that we could get to him first, because she knew that he had this warlock working for him called Revelation, and so with a little bit of help and fooling around and stuff like that, we managed to get together, all of us, not just Kelariis, and basically draw the assassins out, and then we found the warlock and subsequently murdered him. So he can now, well, Ironclaw can now no longer like scry on us and find us and stuff like that.
Yeah, most importantly, you defeated two sets of servants. You defeated his devils that he had in his service.
Yep.
And then you defeated his warlock. So you effectively, if we're speaking in metaphorical terms, you not only cut off his hands, you also blinded him.
Yep. Which is really nice, because he now only knows the thing that he knew before, which is the thing about Kelariis and the fact that there's someone in the Temple of Torm who is after him. But the rest of us, he doesn't know shit about, which is good.
Didn't you know I was a dwarf?
No, the Mistcaller knew you were a dwarf.
Oh.
And there were only suspicions, not actual confirmed.
Yes. Yeah. And then, oh yeah, also V got feeble-minded. Looked at camera.
Yep.
So that was fun. But
we made that potion ages ago.
Then we remembered, well, Kelariis remembered, because I remembered, that we had a potion that I made like 5 fucking years ago. And they gave that to V, and she was promptly restored to her normal self.
Yes.
Which was nice.
And it's also inspired V to learn a new spell, but we'll talk about that a little bit more later.
Wait, really?
Yes.
What?
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Fine. Okay, I might just be being dumb. Anyway, then we basically, we all went back to we had been trying to contact Arya occasionally, because we were just like, hey girl, what's up? And Arya was just sort of like, yeah, I'm fine, don't worry. And then the second time she was like, fuck off, I'm busy.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
I'm looking forward to hearing that reason.
And so we all went back to the tavern thing, the inn, and we went to bed, and then in the middle of the night, someone snuck up on us. And I woke up, and it was Arya, who was like, Ironclaw is a fiend.
And then we went,
Yeah.
And then we went, bum, bum, bum!
And on that bombshell...
To be continued.
Good night.
No. So, on that beat, let us resume. So, I believe at the moment, well, I guess you're having a fairly loud conversation.
Oh, is it still midnight?
Yes. Well, basically, Arya sneaking up was only enough to wake you with a 19 passive perception, but now that you're having an audible conversation, everybody else is aware that there's something going on in the room. So, everybody else sort of wakes up. It's still the middle of the night.
What do you mean Ironclaw is a fiend? Where have you been?
I'm sorry, what?
Excuse me?
I'd just like to point out that Arya looks like absolute shit
Oh, yes.
right now.
Yeah, Arya is still, like, dripping, drenched head to foot, as is Lyra.
Yes.
She doesn't appear to have any, like, external injuries, but she looks like she's been through hell. She looks like she's, like, got the beginnings of some bruises coming up, like, around her head, and, like, the other, like, anywhere else that there's exposed skin looks like there's the beginnings of bruises.
I'm guessing you have a story then, Arya, but I imagine you'd much rather get more comfortable.
That would be absolutely lovely.
I imagine you'd want to get more comfortable before you engage in that story.
A bath would be actually great. Because I smell like shit. Literally.
You should probably
Well,
do that
actually,
then.
you probably don't smell that bad because you've basically been just, like, floating in the river for a couple of hours.
Well, that's true.
What?
Oh boy. That's a sentence.
Yep.
Well, I guess we can have this conversation now. You all want.
You probably want to sit in front of the fire because above everything else, you're
Yes.
probably cold.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go sit in front of the fire, but we can have
Watch
this
yourself and have a-
conversation.
Okay, have this conversation now then.
So, I guess starting from the beginning, when I left Kelariis at the hospital. Oh, by the way, where's Leaf? Is Leaf around?
Oh yeah,
Leaf
Leaf.
is at the, Leaf is at the
Leaf's here.
temple.
Oh, okay.
No, Leaf. Yeah, you left Leaf behind with
Yeah.
with your friend the paladin.
Yeah,
Oh, I
Leaf's
thought he came
being
back for the
taken
night
care of
jacket.
at the church.
Good. I just wanted to make sure real fast.
He's fine.
No, it's okay. We took
fantastic.
care of our adopted child. It's fine.
Thank you. I just needed to make sure he was okay.
They didn't drag him into an ambush filled with demons.
No.
Yeah, no, that would be irresponsible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah,
fine.
we didn't.
Okay, we genuinely.
Yeah, we didn't drag him into an ambush full of demons, and I didn't give him a little bit of money.
Okay.
No,
well, that's
you
fine.
did give him.
Um,
No, I did give him a little bit of money.
Anyway, continue the
Well,
story.
So after I left you at the hospital, I managed to find a tunnel which to sneak under the main structure of the hospital. And as I was going along, I found an entrance to a room where it became apparent that they were in fact hoarding bots and using them for purposes I don't quite understand, but let me just assure you that the scene I found was quite gruesome. It seems like they're running some sort of butcher shop underneath the hospital.
Oh. Good
Correction, not under the hospital, under the apartment that you went into, or the suite.
Right. Anywho, after making that discovery, I managed to find a man. I'm not quite sure if he was being controlled in some way, but he didn't seem to be quite aware of what was happening. So I managed to knock him out and steal his cloak and venture out into what I realized was the palace. And I happened upon a room where... how do you say his name?
Arya
The
Ikalis.
evil... Yeah, Ikalis was holding some sort of cord, I guess. And I managed to sneak in and hide and witness that he is in fact a fiend of great power from the looks of things. Is
Wait,
there
what
anything
did
else
he do that made that obvious?
So he dropped an illusion that was keeping him looking normal.
Oh.
Yeah. And so it quickly became apparent that he is not at all normal.
Yes.
He's not quite a cat, but he sort of is. It's kind of hard to explain. He has cat-like features. Let's just leave it at that.
Interesting.
Oh no. Why are we oh no?
It's fine. Go on.
Okay. But anyway, so I was almost discovered, but I managed to slip out just in time. However, when I can't believe God damn it.
We were all thinking it, it's fine.
I know.
Sorry, continue.
Anyway. So after I managed to sneak out of the palace, I went back into the tunnel and attempted to escape, but was chased by a horde of rat people, which was always fun. And they ended up cornering me, and we had quite a ferocious attack set upon us, which ended in me punching out a grate. Or no, I phased through reality, actually, to get to the other side of the grate. Because I went to the Feywild for a minute. And
Yeah.
then I
That,
punched out
by the way,
grate.
that's descriptive slang for me saying you used your once a day Misty Step.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Probably Misty Scepter. And then I got washed down river and woke up on the beach. Which is why I look like hell right now. So.
Yeah.
there we go.
Functionally speaking, as just so you're clear in terms of game mechanics, I rolled for this scene, and basically you held your constitution to get past this gate, and then got past the gate, loosened the gate, and then immediately failed your next constitution saving throw, so you went unconscious. So you basically drowned and were only alive because of your Mariner's armor.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Oh no.
Thanks,
wow.
Mariner's armor.
Nice.
That's what Mariner's armor does.
Yep. Keeps
I'm
me
so
afloat,
glad you got
even
that
if
all
I'm
those
like
all that time
low-key
ago.
drowning. Yeah.
As many questions as I'm sure we all have, I feel you need rest first and foremost.
Also, quick thing to keep in mind, I think it's safe to assume that Arya has been exposed as a potential threat to Arcalis.
But no one saw me.
Wait,
What about the rat people?
Oh,
Yeah.
well, I guess the rat people.
which worked for him? They wouldn't tell, definitely. No.
They wouldn't know a name.
They wouldn't have a name, but I don't think it would be hard to find a name of.
The only
The exception between Arya and Kelariis is the information. If the Ratman were to tell Arcalis about Arya, the information they would have is second hand, and his chance to scry on you is like it's at a huge disadvantage. You also know he can't scry because the warlock is dead.
Right.
That's
Ooh.
true.
Yeah, but he can't. But like his goons might be on the lookout. You know.
Yeah.
Although we kind of killed the goons that do that stuff.
Yeah.
But
If
nevertheless.
Arcalis is to see Arya face to face, he might recognize her, but
Look, I'm not sure what he's gonna do with it, but he might be aware
yes,
of Arya. That's
Yes.
the short version.
you are correct.
But yeah, that's what I got up to.
So the least suspicious people in this, or like the least detected members in this party, are myself and Grim.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, who would have thought?
Who would have
Although
thought?
at least we have that partially taken care of, since the warlock is
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah, we
Right.
should still be safe.
Well, I think we should get a rest now and then figure out what our next step is tomorrow morning.
Mm. What a
Probably
good plan.
idea. I know where I'm going first thing tomorrow morning, at least.
To the temple.
I.
Was it ever going to be anywhere else?
I mean, make sure to tell Aurora that Arcalis knows that someone at the temple is trying to investigate him. So, thought I should probably be pretty careful.
I will be telling him everything.
Okay. Sure.
All right, sleep well, guys.
Sleep!
Okay,
Sleep!
Yeah. You guys can take a long rest.
Woohoo.
Get all your stuff
The-
back.
Those of you who sleep are going to have to sleep in for a little bit, but because by the time you finish telling the story, it's like 2 in the morning.
Yeah.
Boy.
So, yeah, you can restore your hit points and everything. And before I forget, I will up Lyra's hit points as well, because she gets additional hit points.
Yay!
But otherwise, it is the next day.
Right. Is it today the day of the Yuan-Ti stuff?
Yes. It would be today.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
The question
I have
is-
to decide if we do that now or if we wait.
First, I don't think we have enough time or resources to do everything at once right now. I mean, even though it's time sensitive, we should be able to do this anyway next week. And considering you have to go into the catacombs eventually, that's gonna take like half a week anyway.
if not more. Well, so what is our plan then today? Because even though we know about Erkalis now, what's our next move?
Well,
Good question.
there is one thing I would like to do. I would like you to describe the demon and see if it like rings any bells. Like,
Describe the demon?
Well, like what you saw, so I can like figure out if we need anything like to prepare for the fight, or if I know what it is, that kind of deal.
I
Although,
mean,
this would probably require a roll if because
Yes.
I don't actually know. What would it be? Religion?
Yeah, it's religion check with advantage, I believe, because of your Puck's blessing.
Still not great.
Okay. Arya describes this creature to you in the best detail as she can. Puck sort of like in the back of your mind, the Puck sort of says, "Well, I don't really know. I've never encountered one of these before. I've heard stories about powerful fiends that can take animal forms, but I'm afraid I don't have any specific details."
Well, that was pointless.
It's worth a shot.
So, do we
Yeah.
know if his human form is it an illusion or is it shape changing?
I think it's an illusion.
It is definitely an illusion, Arya,
Okay. Definitely an illusion.
because he didn't change form so much as you were looking at him. He did a gesture and he immediately became the other thing.
Wait, so dispel magic. That would be able to break that, right?
That is
Because
exactly what I was thinking.
Potentially.
question is, can we cast it on him in public, or like semi-public, and get away with it?
That's
I have
exactly
no
what I
idea.
was wondering.
Because
I mean, we'd want to have people see that he's a fiend while not putting those same people in danger.
And that's the problem.
nor do we want to get accused of just simply polymorphing him into a demon.
Indeed.
So maybe we should probably put that one on the back burner. Oh, considering we're gonna go up against like a greater fiend devil, what is it? We might want to I think we want to get all the strength we can get, because this is not going to be your average infiltration or whatever we want to do. Take him down.
Take him down. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we almost have to expose him before
Yeah.
trying anything else.
Yeah, we can't really
Because-
like take him down, because then if people don't know that he's bad, then it sounds like we're bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I assume the same will happen to him as with the other demons. He just turns to dust. Good luck proving that that dust was him.
Yeah.
Right.
And wait, didn't the other demons like they basically got reborn, right? Like after like a day?
Yes, they get reborn.
Yes, killing any fiend not on their resident plane of existence causes them to return to whatever plane they came from, where they are slowly and excruciatingly painfully reborn over the space of usually about 24 hours.
Yeah, so basically to Luka, we killed those two devils that he had like under him, but
Mm-hmm.
then we had to kill the warlock, because otherwise the warlock would just summon them back a day later.
Right.
So the reason why we don't have to worry about those is because the warlock is also dead. But if, like, Erkalis can just, like, pop up himself, just killing him won't do it.
Got you.
Which point
Oh.
he'd probably also undoubtedly take on some sort of new form. in
Like
order
the
to hide
only
his new identity.
clue we have as to where he would go is somewhere in the Nine Hells in Fields of Bone. Which does not sound like a pleasant place.
Nope.
No, it doesn't.
Not at all.
You also know that was the warlock's home plane, not necessarily Erkalis's.
Yeah.
Okay. I assumed they both worked for Mammon. But maybe they don't.
Yes, but the if he is a fiend, he will not have chosen his plane of residence. He will have been created in it. The warlock chose a plane.
Right.
Okay. Never mind. Scratch that. Wow.
So what can we do?
I think our best move right now is to power up, and I feel like getting a holy relic seems like a great way to do that. Although I don't know if you want to set anything in motion before we head off.
Well, I'm just worried that if we go down the catacombs, Erkalis is going to have some time to do whatever it is that he's planning to do. Because when he charmed that one guy, surely he was planning to set something in motion.
Well, when I inform the temple, I can always, again, share all of that information, and I'm sure they could probably think of some way to keep an eye on him.
Also,
Would they be able to stop him if he tried to do anything?
That I am unsure of.
like I think it's fairly safe to assume that he has used those abilities like fairly well more often whenever he just wants to push anything through. I'm not sure how we have affected his timeline.
Yeah.
He can do anything in the council he wants, really, because we can't stop him there. So no matter what we do, he's going to be pushing things in the council.
I'm worried
Well,
about leaving him sitting with that ability for too long.
The problem is we can't directly interrupt him. So no matter what we do, really, he's going to be sitting, building towards his end result. So we need to build to make sure our end result of stopping him comes beforehand.
Well, I guess the other thing we could do, although, like, because you found that like butcher shop or meat shop or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
like that is a way into the palace, right?
It's kind of risky, but yes.
Well, I'm
Also,
like,
I don't know if they'll be guarding that entrance now.
yeah.
I mean, if it's Ratman guarding it, I'm sure we can take care of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was just alone, so there was a lot. But
Yeah.
perhaps we could take it on as a team.
But if we get caught, the consequences are quite bad.
I think what we need to figure out is how he communicates with everyone else. Like, how does he get messages sent?
Well, I think we took out a big part of what he uses anyway, so...
Well,
Yeah.
it was more a case of like using it to get to him. Like, if we can figure out where he's gonna be, we can plan something. Because like the easiest situation I can come up with involves Vondal scrying a lot again, or doing the same thing, and then whenever they're having a meeting, we go in and do the same we did with Fee, for more paperwork, and then we just try and dispel his disguise. But wait, remember the sigils on the ships whilst we were sailing? Those triggered with specific like conditions, right?
Yeah.
What if we created one for Fiend?
But how would we create those?
I don't know the magic,
Well, I don't know the magic either.
but I was if we can do that and get him to walk close enough to one or touch something, that would be good.
It's an idea.
Sounds like an amazing use of Glyph of Warding, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
I just don't know how. I mean, I guess we could ask like someone. I don't know who
Oh
would
no,
know.
clerics can prep it.
Oh,
Yeah, I
Oh,
can do
really?
I can do Glyph of Warding.
oh shit.
Nice.
Well, yeah. I mean, if we.
Wait, if you could put up dispel magic in there, although we would have to place it somewhere.
You have to place it in somewhere where he's gonna be that's like semi-public, which might be hard.
How about? Oh no. Like the best spot I can imagine is if we can get it somewhere in the where we did all the paperwork, that route, like in front of the council room, because we're sure he's gonna go through there at some point.
Right, but like we need to make sure that people see it.
Yeah, and we need to make the glyph first, and we need to make sure that people don't see we're making.
Yes. Well, like
Right.
the reason I wanted to do it there is because we know there's going to be guards, there's going to be a handful of people, there's going to be the entirety of the council that can see it, maybe a handful of other people, and it is and I think it's the most public the most public place I know of that he's going to be.
It's true. I guess the question is, so Vondal would make the glyph, and then I guess I would have to sneak it in.
No, it's not. You have to cast it on the ground where you
Oh,
want
I
it.
see.
Well, you don't have to cast it on the ground.
What are the
It could-
restrictions on it?
It's 'cause
Either
I know
on a
it-
surface or
it's-
within
well-
an object that can be closed.
yeah.
Yes. Because
Like
if
a
you
door.
if you remember, Nalasasoran cast a Glyph of Warding with blindness, deafness inside of his diary in the pocket plane.
Yeah.
But if I remember correctly, it doesn't that have like the limitation of not being allowed to move the object or something?
I think you're thinking of explosive rune,
Okay.
but I'm not sure.
Well, if it doesn't say it in there,
Well, it doesn't say it in here.
then you should be fine. So our options are
Oh wait, hang on.
So what?
Yeah,
so-
yeah. If you choose an object, that object must remain in its place.
If the object is moved more than 10 feet from where it cast, the glyph is broken.
Yeah. So we need to cast it on the floor where.
Yeah.
so we're gonna have to sneak
Which basically
in.
means I'd have to stand. Well, yeah, it basically means I'd have to stand wherever he was gonna end up for an hour
Oh my god.
wow,
Okay.
that's
because it
a
has a
long
casting time of an hour.
Oh fuck.
Okay.
That
That's
is
complicated.
that is very tough.
Also, we need a powdered diamond worth at least 200 gold.
I mean, we
I think
can
we-
do that.
I think that is not gonna be the biggest problem. I think. But
Which is
No. I'm
hilarious,
sure we can
but
manage that.
I
Yeah.
agree that that's not the biggest problem.
I mean, I could buy powdered diamond dust worth 200 gold right now,
Okay.
but
But the problem is indeed casting it, having an hour to cast it, because people won't likely want us to cast stuff in. You know.
No.
The
So
question is,
I don't think Vondal wants to break in.
well, this is we're not like ignore. I feel like we're not doing too much harm to people. Like, it's not like we're gonna damage anything. We're not gonna. Well, I say we're not gonna damage anything. Our Arcalis might have some other ideas in that regard, but I think it's the least the least harmful way we can try and do this.
We also need to figure out though where Arcalis typically shows up in public.
Well, just put the glyph on the floor in front of the door to the meeting room.
Yeah, in literally in the lobby of the thing is where you saw him last time.
Though I guess the problem would be getting that empty enough for me to do that.
Well,
And keeping it empty.
we're gonna have to go at night. But I don't know about patrols. Or there's one thing we haven't looked at all yet, and that is just checking if there's anything, any activities that he does that are outside of the palace.
If we
You.
do it in
I'll say very briefly, from your records, you remember that he is a very secretive man and he very, very rarely leaves the council
so-
chambers.
And also, if we do it in the what is that place called?
Which place?
The place with the meeting room and stuff.
Oh, it's the council hall, basically.
Oh,
The,
council
the whole
hall.
thing is the council hall.
If we do it in a council hall, we're pretty much guaranteed to have witnesses that are important.
Yes.
It's the best place to put it, but
Hardest
enabling us
place
to
to
put it
Um,
there is very difficult.
Fee, do you want to make me an Arcana check?
Okay, wow, I almost reached for my IRL dice.
Sad.
Shush.
Okay.
60.
Just as a note, you also know that if he is charming people using the suggestion spell, having a revelation that breaks the illusion, so to speak, would likely break whatever suggestions anybody was currently under as well.
Right, so that's pretty good. Yeah. Okay.
That would be a lot of magic to fix that mess
Indeed.
on his end, at least.
Right.
I guess if we want to skip getting your artifact first, I guess we could have someone scout out any entrances to the council hall at night.
I don't think the problem is getting into the council hall at night, necessarily. The main problem is going to be that place is going to be guarded at all times.
Most likely.
There will definitely be guards in there, possibly even more than during the day.
Yeah.
That is a good point.
The
Well, I
problem
guess-
isn't going to be getting in, the problem is going to be getting in and then out, unnoticed, for an hour.
Well, that's all, like the reason I wanted to. Well, step one is getting in, but like if we get in, what I want us to do is see what the guard patrol is like, or if it's stationary, or because if we don't know if it's going to be patrol or if they're just standing there, then that's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
I don't think we can get away as window washing.
No,
What?
that
Not
won't
on
work
this.
time.
To reference a one shot that nobody listening to this will understand, if only you had a handy fire alarm.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And we didn't ignore it.
Hmm. I guess we'd have to scout out the place first to see how many guards there are and if there are any patrols.
I actually have an idea.
Yeah.
I've been in the council hall. I've seen the doorway there. I could cast scrying on the location, and I could feasibly see all the guards in the room and
That's
what
a
they
good
were
idea.
doing.
That
Good.
might be wise.
So I could do that. I could do that
Last
tonight.
too long though, right?
Well, it's up to 10 minutes.
That's. Do you think that's enough for like a whole like if someone was like walking around the entire building?
No, but we would know if we're dealing with patrols or stationary guards, which is a massive difference.
We would.
Because
Right.
a patrol you only need to fool for like a minute whilst they walk by. Stationary guards you have to fool for the entire hour.
Yeah.
And any information that we have is better than nothing, so.
Yeah.
And it's as safe as it gets.
Yeah, it's the safest way to do it. And it would allow us to do something else today.
I guess that would free
I
us
could
up
just
to,
cast scrying tonight.
that would free us up to do the like chase down the messengers.
That depends on where it takes us though.
Also, well, well, yeah. Now that you mention it, that is true. What if we set off another like acceleration by intercepting the messengers?
This is why I think we should do something unrelated to him, but still important.
Well, as far as you know, the
Yeah.
messengers are unrelated.
Yeah.
But yeah, that too.
Well, yeah, but like as I meant those messengers, but because like they might step up the Yuan-Ti timeline.
Hmm.
Not sure how, but
So
Maybe we
so
should
you're saying
just-
we don't want to alarm the Yuan-Ti as well as the
Yeah.
Diacalis?
well,
We should
like
just kind of lay low today, maybe.
okay,
Well, the catacombs would be a good way to lay low.
yeah, but that's not for a day. That's 4 days.
It isn't. It isn't. It would be for days. But I could, in theory, cast scrying every night. And that would
the thing there is
gather us
that
a lot of information while we're down there.
Yeah, but you would also be using your powers to scry instead of assisting us.
I still have plenty of capability to assist you as well.
Like, I feel like getting an advantage by getting the artifact would be good, but I do see why it is important to stop Arcalis as quickly as possible.
But the reason I'm suggesting this is because, to me, doing that would be no different to what we did, where I was saving a little bit of magic for in case we needed food. It's not that different to that, really.
Well, if you
I'd
think
just be
you
saving a little bit of magic to do something else at the night.
if you think if you can sufficiently assist, then I will trust you on that.
I believe I can be of sufficient assistance, even if I'm saving a bit of my magic to cast scrying every night.
Well, and then I'll just look over to Kelariis and Arya and like, you've got. How do you feel about this?
I mean, as much as I wish we could tackle the problem with Arcalis right away, we don't have enough to really move on that yet in terms of how we're going to get there. We need information.
Yeah.
So keeping busy with other things in the meantime is good. And I won't really argue going to find Calestro.
If you think about it as well, we're about to fight a fiend. What better than to complete a triad of holy weapons of retribution?
Nope.
I'm just worried that in the time that it takes us to go into the catacombs and get back out, that he'll have done something horrible.
Yeah, I agree.
Hmm.
But at the same time, we don't really have anything that we can do immediately, so...
No.
One thing I could do is I'm going and speaking at the church anyway. I could ask him if he would have any way of contacting us while we're down there, and they could potentially keep an eye on Arcalis and give us updates, potentially.
That would work, I think. Okay, then,
Assuming they
sure.
would have a way to contact us down there, though, is the only problem.
But even
That's
if
true.
they were able to contact us and something happened, we could be a day or two away from getting back up here.
As
Well,
a
we know-
reminder from the things that you discovered, you know that it's a day to get to the tomb, and it will, even if it doesn't take you a whole day to get through the tomb, which it very well might because you don't actually know how expansive, how elaborate it is, it will take you another day to get back to the surface.
Oh, the only upside is we've probably going down. We can clear obstacles so we don't have to face them on the way back up. But yes, we would be a day late or so in case of emergency. But on the other hand, you can't live just in case. It's anything could happen.
I will say as well, Kelariis, as you're talking about the idea of keeping an eye on Arcalis and sending messages, you can already think of somebody who's more capable than the church. It just depends on whether you trust them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, but I don't really have a way of contacting... Well, I say that. I'm sure that somebody...
If you try and find them, it's entirely possible that they'll find you first.
Yeah. And I mean, I think that... trustworthy enough, I think, considering our goals align, more or less.
Plus, there is one big advantage of going into the catacombs I just realized.
Mm.
We just took out their assassins, but if we disappear, you might not realize the assassins failed.
That is an excellent point.
True, and there's no way to scry and check on that. Well, as far as we know.
Also, Ferrous,
Mm-hmm.
because the wording of this spell is a little bit iffy, would I be able to consult Torm using augury of the potential results of us going in the catacombs?
Which one no is the question.
Augury.
Because it would be ideal to do so, but it says a plan you plan to take within the next 30 minutes, and I don't know if that would. Although I guess it's not something we have to complete in 30 minutes. I'm not sure how the wording would make that work.
Would Tor be able to even tell you?
That's what the augury spell is for.
Yeah.
Well, I guess.
Well,
But it doesn't necessarily guarantee that
Okay.
you know...
yeah, because it doesn't account for any possible circumstances that might change the outcome. So, if you cast it, it will only basically be accurate for maybe the next hour or so.
Yeah.
But if you cast it and
Yeah,
he says
that's no problem.
bad, then it's probably a bad idea to go.
Yeah.
Bad.
Bad! That's the
Yeah.
end.
Well,
Nothing.
he wouldn't actually say bad, but there you go.
I think you would.
Well, no, he wouldn't. He'd say, whoa.
Yes.
'Cause that's how it works.
Whoa.
He'd be like, whoa, dude.
Whoa!
Whoa, dude, don't do that.
Whoa.
Wow.
Or maybe he'll say wheel and whoa.
Wow.
Why is Torm just like the worst?
Tom has become a surfer dude, apparently.
I can't.
God.
Well, if you guys want to take care of like talking to the what's it called, the Order of Torm here,
Paladin.
I will have a look at the mace we
Paladin,
found.
whose name I continuously
Okay.
forget.
Rorai.
Alright.
You can make me an Arcana check on the mace.
If only we had someone who knew identify.
Hmm. Well,
Oh,
as we said previously, Vondal might have a useful spell for things like this.
Oh, of course.
You don't have advantage. You don't have advantage to identify magical things, do you? Or do you?
no, I only get double the proficiency bonus on their history.
Ah, okay.
I'm gonna read some stuff.
In that case, do you want to make me a history check as well, and you can have your double proficiency bonus for this?
Sure. So that would be a 25.
Okay. So. Oh, okay, yeah, I think I know how this happens. Okay, so while the others are getting things together and thinking about what their next step is, Grim, you produce this mace from the bag. And so you hold it for a moment. Oh, I forgot to mention that this weapon requires attunement. Oh well. I'll edit
Okay,
that
this
real
is-
quick.
This is weird. I don't seem to be able to. I can't seem to find where the checkbox for like whether to prep a spell or not appears to have vanished.
Oh yeah, you just have to click the circle on the actual spell list now. It's-
Yes.
Oh.
Oh my god, it's what I always tried to do and failed.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they've updated the character sheet a lot.
It's really
It's the
weird.
truth.
Okay,
It's
cool.
true.
This is going to be really tricky
Um,
for a bit.
Okay, so you examine this mace for a moment, and you can definitely tell that it holds some sort of power, Grim. And as you're sort of like you're trying to remember if you've heard anything like this before, and you remember a couple of folk stories about ancient magic weapons. And as you do so, Puck's voice chimes in the back of your mind and says, I know this weapon. I've heard of this weapon before.
Oh.
And between your folk history and Puck's lore, he tells you that this mace is known as Tithe Collector.
That sounds kind of ominous.
Yes. It is a powerful magic mace imbued with a fiendish power, as it was forged by a pit fiend of Mammon.
Ooh.
That sounds lovely.
In gameplay mechanics purposes, it is a magical weapon that grants +1 to attack rolls and damage using it, and in addition, on a successful hit, inflicts 2d6 fire damage. However, each time the weapon is used in combat, it demands a tithe. It starts as gold, but folk stories say its tithe becomes more and more intense the more it's used.
Interesting.
With a 20-something in your history, though, you know that Tithe Collector is it goes from hand to hand by people's greed taking it, but you basically know that above all things, Tithe Collector fears rejection, because basically if it is cast away by its wielder, and nobody else takes it for 24 hours, Tithe Collector returns to the Nine Hells and basically has to begin the process of getting out of the Nine Hells again.
Oh. Wait, so it's like a semi-sentient weapon? Or is it sentient?
Yes, it's not quite sentient. It's well, it's sentient, but it doesn't hold a particularly powerful intelligence. Basically, it just wants more. It's like, give me more, give me more. And then once you can either no longer provide that, or you will cast it away, it basically goes, "Oh, I need more. I'm going back," and then it just returns to the Nine Hells. Because it knows that the moment it goes back to the Nine Hells, a demon will take it and will use it.
Oh. Well, I guess for now it will be fine. But I guess that means I have to attune to it, or else it's gonna disappear.
Go straight back to the Nine Hells.
Yes, if nobody attunes to it within the next couple of hours, it will vanish.
I
Do we even
mean,
want a weapon
do
like
we
that? though?
want to do this?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Well,
It's like-
has Grim even told you this yet?
No, probably
Oh.
not.
Nope, probably not.
I might leave out some of the fiendish nature
Why?
Why?
Why are you like this?
because I don't want to get crap from Vondal.
I mean, you're gonna get crap from me.
Crap from Arya.
Yeah,
Yeah, that too.
You're gonna get
but-
crap from all of us. Let's be entirely
Yeah.
real.
yeah.
that's true.
I mean, to be
based on-
fair,
From-
the voice that is Puck in the back of your mind, Grim, it says, "This mace is a bad idea."
Okay. Hmm.
Yeah, do not.
When even the
Okay.
trickster god is telling you it's a bad idea, you should probably listen.
don't think Puck is a god, but
Oh well, whatever he is, spirit.
He's a powerful Fey spirit. He's not on the levels of gods, but he's not far behind either.
Sorry, I didn't know the lore of Puck in this
You
world.
know, I'll just keep it until after we fought the fiend. I think I'll attune to it for now.
God damn it, Minnie.
Look, I feel like we're gonna need a boost against that fiend, and I feel like this is
God
the
damn
one
it.
way we're gonna
what?
get it.
Fire damage?
Yep. No, well, mainly magic. So
Fire damage to a fiend. Bad idea.
Not necessarily.
Well, almost completely pointless.
Not necessarily.
I can't believe Grim is about to have his life sucked out of him by this sword.
Mace.
It's a mace.
Mace, whatever.
Okay,
it's
so
fine.
It starts off small anyway, so it should
Ah,
be
I
okay.
hate you so much.
As long
Yeah.
as you just throw it away in time, it's good.
you
God.
you attune to this mace. Takes you an hour. You don't feel anything after you're attuned to it, but it's definite. You can definitely you can feel that now. If you extend your will, you can harness its power. So you know you're attuned to it, but you don't feel any different.
To be fair, it was only like if you use it.
Well, that's better than I expected.
Technically.
This is gonna end so bad.
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Look, it's fine.
Is it?
Is it? Is it fine?
Worst case, I'll have Vondal cast his stuff on me, and I'll be fine again. Although I might not want to be carrying too much stuff on me if this thing is gonna demand random things.
This is such a stupid idea.
Yep.
Oh,
Pretty stupid.
I'll try it for fights, and if it's a problem, I'll get rid of it.
by the time
And
it's
this
a
is-
problem, we have a problem. Okay, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Okay.
So, in this hour that Grim is attuning, what is everyone else
Oh
doing?
wow.
Also, I just saw what you guys put in chat, and for fuck's sake.
What?
God.
You've made
I mean,
a
I can't disagree, but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. So what are the rest of you doing for this hour?
Guess we just go to the temple.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to see a leaf.
So,
Yeah.
I need to see my boy.
so 3 of you are going to the temple. Kelariis, are you going, or are you going other places?
I guess to confirm with everybody, I guess I would have confirmed with everybody. Are we okay with? You were talking about Mistcaller. Mistcaller?
Yes,
Mistcaller,
the
right.
Mistcaller.
Yes. Yes. I wanted to make sure we were thinking of the same person, because
Yes.
if not, that would have been really awkward. So I would definitely bring up that idea to everybody, like, hey, we could probably ask if she and the other, or like anybody else that she has kind of helping her, would be willing to keep an eye on her Collis and maybe be able to contact us.
Well, from the sounds of things, she and her eyes already are keeping an eye on him.
Right, but like be willing to contact us in the event shit
Yes.
goes weird.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like the worst idea, and honestly, she's probably as trustworthy as, well, you know.
I'm guessing this means we've been told the story now.
You were told that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were we? Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, because when she came in, well, when she sent her illusion in, that was able to do the.
Oh god, yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
completely
and then she
forgot about
moved out of the fucking room.
that. Potentially, that would be. I say potentially. That would probably be a good idea.
Well, I'll see what I can do to contact her again.
Very well.
Okay.
Not sure how the fuck I'm gonna do that, but sure.
So, 3 of you head to the temple. Kelariis, you disappear off. Those
Somewhere.
of you who are going to the temple, what is it that you want to do precisely?
I want to see my boy.
Boy.
Yeah, you can.
they
you
want to
can do
see
that.
Leaf. And
I will. I will
and
say
I
hi
just
to our
want
child.
to
Thanks,
Yeah,
Arya.
and I just want to update our friend.
Yes, you bring Rarai up to date.
And I assume he would have a reaction to all of this.
Yes, bewilderment is top on the list of reactions.
Fair.
Um,
Same.
Yeah.
But yeah, after you finish explaining, he sort of says, "Well, I had always had a suspicion that I was being watched. After all the efforts that seemed to stump me just as I came across anything new, it was too organized to be coincidence. But now that you say that these sort of powers are involved, I wonder how close I was to being the target of these assassins."
In that case, I'm thankful that. Well, thankful that we turned up before anything like that could happen.
He nods.
And I guess I will also tell him like our plan. So I'll probably be like, given the recent events, we are somewhat in agreement that it would be a good idea to lay low to throw him off our trail even more. So we had another task that we wanted to perform in the catacombs.
Okay. So what is it that you need me to do?
Keep an eye on Sarkalis if you can, and
Subtly.
if there are any problems, then if you have any way to contact us, that would be a good idea as well. But also, try not to stick your nose in too far.
He thinks to himself for a moment and says, I'm not really sure how much information I can gather for you from my current position, but if it looks like things are beginning to come to a head, I can definitely get you a message.
I would greatly appreciate that.
He offers his hand to you and says, "Good luck, my friend. Stay safe."
And you. I will shake his hand. May Torm watch over us both.
Indeed.
Then I guess I'll try and find the other two.
Yeah, he just goes back to praying with the sword.
Hello, we're playing with Leaf.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, Lee.
Yeah, he basically seems to have found like a bunch of like young acolyte children that he is just like running around with, and
Oh.
you're not really sure what game it is they're playing. They seem to just be running around throwing a ball at each other and then screaming when the person throws a ball at other people. There's some game going on there, but you don't really understand.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not there, but yeah.
Yep. Has Leaf spent his silver?
No, he seems to just be hoarding everything he's given.
Well,
It seems to be a habit.
That's fair. Well, he's got a shiny coin now, so it's fine. So there we go. Leaf is pretty damn happy here.
Oh, good.
And he's the
I was
safest
very worried.
and it's probably the safest place in the city.
Yes. Although if he stays any longer, he runs the risk of being brought up under organized religion.
Yeah, that is true.
That's true.
Wow.
I don't see a problem with that.
No, you don't.
You are the actual worst.
Yeah, I was brought up under organized religion.
Yeah, look what happened to you. No, just kidding.
Oh, damn.
he was brought up under 2 organized religions.
Oh god, yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I was brought up under 2 organized religions.
yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with me. Hashtag make Leaf lawful good. It's about time we had another one in the party. It's about time we had another one in the party.
No.
Why are you so against this idea?
Please don't indoctrinate your children into
Yeah,
cults.
exactly. Like, and also, fucking, you are the fucking order that's partially the reason why they're still in this indentured servant mess.
Are you having this conversation in character?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
But things were much worse before that, though. Things
They
are on
were.
the up.
They were, but children should be free to believe what they want to believe in.
I got a second with her because, like, my god is, like, free will and shit, so.
Well, if you want to move him, you are welcome to. But I don't know where else he would go.
Yeah.
I know. Look, we have a little more important stuff to going on right now anyway.
How dare you say my son is not important?
He is important. He's just not, there's a theme in the council.
He
I
is.
know. I was just
He
playing,
is but one. Our other problems involve many, many more. While an individual's life is important, it is also, well,
If
that
you
just
say
means
expendable, Kelariis will
each-
know somewhere deep, far away.
He's not saying. He's not going to say that. He's saying. But
He's just
saying,
not a
look,
priority
while
right
one
now.
life-
I
whilst one
believe
life
what
is
Vondal is
important-
trying to say is the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one.
Yeah, like while he is but one, our other problems involve many, and each of them are also one life.
Arya, you swear in a parallel universe that he should be the one with the pointy ears, not you.
Wow.
That is pretty much the
Hashtag Vulcan
the basis
jokes.
of elven philosophy.
So, as you debate religious philosophy in this courtyard, Kelariis, where are you going?
I mean, weirdly enough, horribly enough, my first instinct is to probably go back to the problem because it's the only place I know how to like directly contact
Okay.
the Mistcaller, but I also think that that's not necessarily where she is all the time.
Yeah.
But I guess maybe I can leave a message?
Well,
That's weird. This is gonna be weird.
yeah,
That's weird.
you arrive there, and the house mistress is still sort of at the desk. Turns to you and sort of says, "Back so soon?"
I needed to speak with Missy was the name that I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Missy again. And I didn't know where else to go.
The house mistress looks down at the nails and just sort of says, well, Missy's not in till later, I'm afraid. If you're still looking for a good time, I've got plenty of other people, but if you're looking for Missy specifically, then you might have to come back later."
I don't know if Dragonborn can blush, but like
I think we established in a previous session that yes, they can.
Yeah.
okay, yeah, it's like oh god no. I'll come back later, I think. Thanks.
Alright. Take care, my lovely.
Yep, take care. Just leave really awkwardly.
Why didn't you leave a message?
I don't.
Leave a message after the beep.
No, I mean the thing is,
Also,
is
what
that
would she say?
yeah, it's like, hey, I want to talk to you. That's about it.
Okay. So, as you leave, I can't remember the name of the brothel. No, it's gone. So I'll find it in a second. Yeah.
Wait, I have it written.
As you leave the Gilded Chain. Yeah, as you leave the Gilded Chain, basically you get about halfway down the Coin Purse, which is the street that it's in, when basically a young boy runs into you from behind.
Oof.
And were you anybody else, you might be like sort of knocked sprawling by this person, but as it is, the small boy sort of like bounces off you and like sprawls in the dirt behind you.
Oh no. I'll help up the small boy.
Okay. Yeah, you sort of help him and says, "Oh, sorry, miss, I didn't see you there." And as you go to turn away, he says, "Oh, wait a moment, you dropped something." And he holds out a single playing card to you.
Oh. Well, thank you.
Don't take it, it's the mark of a serial killer.
I know, I was like, I can't wait to get marked for death.
Okay.
Wow. Don't get marked for death.
So you take the playing card from him, and quick as a flash, he takes off in the opposite direction.
Definitely a serial mark.
What do you do?
He's marked.
Is it just a plate?
Okay.
This sounds really bad, but like I quickly just like check, I guess, like to make sure it wasn't like a pickpocket sort of ruse.
Okay.
don't know.
Yeah, you
Like
you
that sounds really bad and paranoid, but
yeah, no, you pat yourself down. You're not missing anything.
okay. Yeah, I mean, there's only a couple things that I really care about losing, so
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess I'll look at the playing card.
Okay. So, as you flip the playing card over, the back is the back seems to be sort of like a silver filigree pattern on the back, like lots of like twirling spirals and interlacing sort of lots of like interlacing like sweeping lines. And as you flip it over, it is basically the text on the card is like a silver emboss, and it is a Joker.
Great.
Oh.
The face of the Joker is unusually familiar, as it
Oh.
is a dark-haired woman in a silver mask.
Okay, that's fair.
Huzzah.
Great.
As you look at it, the figure in the card moves.
Oh Jesus, what the fuck? Okay.
Magic.
Yep, there we go.
As the card moves, She mouths words at you, but you're hearing them in your head as much as you're hearing them in your ears. And she says, if you're looking for me, come to the Shrine of Lyra, leave a silver coin in the basin, and then basically, and then wait in the street behind.
Okay. Do I know where that is?
You've been through the Temple District before, so yes.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I will do that then. I will head there.
Okay.
Pocket the card.
Cool. It takes you a little while to get there. And you arrive at the Shrine of Lyra, you enter through the doors. It's a very small temple compared to like the Temple of Torm or the Temple of Palor. Mainly because the sect of Lyra is far more like a cult than it is anything else.
Right.
She's still a recognized deity. But the people that worship her openly aren't the people that she really cares about, because the people that she cares about are the secretive ones.
Yeah, that's
So
fair.
people that worship her openly are generally people like gamblers or people who live off of luck. No, not luck so much as people who live off deception, basically. But yes, so you step inside. There's this small shrine, and there is a basically there's a small altar at the back, and standing behind it, sort of lighting a number of incense sticks, is a woman in a silver mask with dark hair. But you, having seen the real Mistcaller, you can tell immediately that this person is not her. She stands completely differently. She's a little bit shorter, and her robes, like the way they hang off her, just look completely different. She doesn't seem to notice you enter. There's a number of people sort of like sitting in the pews and praying, and there is basically like an offerings bowl in the center of the room.
Yeah, I guess I will walk up to the offerings bowl and place. She said a silver piece.
A silver
right?
piece, yes.
Yes. I know.
Yeah, you notice that the majority of the coins inside are gold pieces.
Oh.
So as you place a silver piece on the top, it's
Yeah.
very
That's
different.
fair. That's fair.
And yeah, then you basically leave and
Yep.
walk around the back. And no sooner do you turn the corner into this side street around the back, than sitting on a barrel is the Mistcaller.
Well, I was almost expecting to have to wait a bit.
You happen to have caught me at a good time.
I guess that's a good thing then. I assume you already know that things went well.
I have some indication.
Yeah. We shouldn't. Well, neither of us should have an issue with the warlock or his devils. Yeah, devils anytime soon, or ever, probably.
Resting well at the bottom of a shallow grave, I hope.
Something like that. But I had something to ask of you that relates to all of this.
Beneath the mask, there is a ever so slight narrowing of her eyes, and she crosses her legs and then her arms, and sort of leans back a little and says, "Very well. What is your question?"
It's less of a question and more of a favor. My companions and I are thinking of heading down into the catacombs for something, but we wanted to be able to know if Urkalis does anything while we're there. And I was wondering if you'd be able to maybe I guess, contact me or one of the others if something big happens.
Make me an insight check.
Okay. Oh, fucking hell.
Oh
Okay.
god.
So there is a slight shuffle of her body, and like as you watch her shuffle, she adjusts the mask for a second, and you get the feeling that she adjusted herself to take away from the fact that she just to take away from another reaction that she just had. And you fell straight for the. It's a gambler's play, and you fell straight into it. You did not see the change on her face. But she says, "You're heading into the catacombs." Well,
Yes.
that's a risky business for certain.
Wouldn't be the first time.
If you're set on going there, I can have someone notify you if things begin to become difficult up here.
That would be very helpful. That's all I ask. Though, if you happen to know something about the catacombs you'd be willing to share, the more we know going down, the better.
I might, but what miscaller would I be if I gave away secrets for nothing?
Yeah, I expected as much.
The truth is I need something.
Jesus.
Something that is almost, if not equally, valuable as secrets. I know roughly where it is, but it is far, far too dangerous for me or my companions to go looking for it. You, however, I think you and your companions might be somewhat better suited to hunting it down. If you
Will
two,
you tell me what? Oh,
sorry,
sorry, go
if
on.
you agree to find this for me, then I will tell you what I know of the goings on in the catacombs.
Will you tell me what it is before I make my decision?
Make me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Okay. She thinks it over for a moment and then says, I suppose you have already proven yourself trustworthy. As much as that means in this business. The item I am looking for it is a vase. But it is not just any vase. It was made a very long time ago by a very powerful wizard. It has certain magical properties that are useful to someone like myself. If I were to acquire it, I would become significantly better at my job, and certain other forces would no longer have access to it. And that would please me greatly. So what do you say?
I have a question out of character.
Yes.
Very quickly. Does Kelariis know as much? Like, I know alignment doesn't exist in the same way, like in universe, but does Kelariis know like what sort of god Lyra is?
Oh yes, because yeah, you failed an Arcana check on this before, didn't you?
Yes.
I will tell you this because this is the kind of thing that Tritherion would have told you, and now that you've been to the Shrine of Lyra, you will make the connection as to who the Mistcaller is.
Okay.
You basically know that Lyra is incredibly self-serving. In mechanical terms, she is a chaotic neutral deity.
Okay.
So she only really she and her followers basically only really care about themselves and their own. And they aren't really that fussed about how they get it. They're not in the realm of evil where they'll actively fuck people over or do evil things with the intention of like just being evil to other people. But they are very whereas you are steal from the rich to give to the poor, they are steal from the rich to make myself rich.
Right.
So this deal almost certainly benefits them and screws over somebody else very powerful. And yeah, well, I guess you can infer from that what Kelariis would feel. Like, this is clearly a power play by them. They want something, you want something in return, so they're going to make you get the something that gives them something in order for you to have the information.
And I guess Kelariis would probably have a slightly better sense of this than me, but I don't think that like this would go against like anything Tritherion would be okay with. I don't. Like, I know, like, to me, this is already towing the line because I'm like, I don't really want to be quote unquote working for somebody that serves another god, but it helps me get to my goal.
Yes.
And like our goal.
Tritherion would argue with you whether or not this is necessary to achieve your goals. But if you decide that it's necessary, Tritherion is very much for if it achieves justice, then do it.
Right.
If it is the right thing to do, even if you have to be slightly morally dubious to do it, do it.
I think this is where Kelariis draws the line, actually. I wasn't sure, but I wanted to check like what she would know in universe versus what like I know a little bit outside. Okay.
Yep.
I think with all due respect that we'll take our risks in the catacombs on our own. And I'll have to turn down this.
She gestures openly with her hands and just sort of says, "Your life is yours to gamble."
Will you still contact us then?
She again sort of just ponders for a moment and says, "If it serves our interests, yes."
Oh.
Well, I guess I can respect that.
She smiles and says, "That's why I like you."
This lady is shady as hell.
She's
And I think-
shady as hell, but I think any other character I think would be very interested in getting to like know a little bit more about all this, but Kelariis is not about it, so I have to turn away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Kelariis like turns to go and is just like, well, take care of yourself then.
I think you're the one that needs to worry about that more than me.
I have a lot of experience with that at this point, I think, but it is as it is.
Tell your cleric friend to keep on his toes.
I will. Thank you.
If my dexterity means anything, I'm very bad at doing that, though.
Ha.
That's a terrible joke.
Yeah, and I guess with a polite nod, I will leave.
Okay. You walk out of the alley.
Yep.
Back into the street. And I guess you guys all come together.
Cool.
Does anyone want to help me acquire 250 gold's worth of incense?
What?
Wait, for what?
Yeah, what is this?
To potentially learn more about what it is we're going to be seeking.
That's a lot of fucking incense.
Wait, oh, you want to do
It's either a lot of incense or some very expensive incense.
Well,
God, I just
We
imagine like
need very
what-
expensive.
getting
Does anyone want to come buy 250 gold incense?
No, it's just like the cheapest incense, but like massive amounts of it.
Yep.
You
God.
can fill an entire room with it.
To the invulnerable vagrant.
Oh my god.
But yeah, out of character. Could totally cast Legend Lore here
You could totally cast Legend.
and just go Krolestra.
Well, I have 30
Oh.
gold, so
I mean, I'll help.
Like-
If you,
I've got 209.
I mean, I can help with that, like easily money wise. Are you
I'm just-
telling us what you're aiming to do with it?
yeah,
Yeah, he's probably saying. He's probably
Yeah,
literally
well-
saying, "I think I can get us more information on what it is we're going to be seeking."
Well, like
Okay.
I'm not sure. Like, I feel like the journey is more important than the because we know quite a bit about it, don't we?
You know
How
little
it
bits
got
about
here.
Krolestra, yes. The question is, do you want to know about Krolestra or do you want to know about the catacombs? Because you still technically, you aren't 100% sure that the spear is in the catacombs.
What's the thing? Ideally, I want to learn,
Wait,
try
I'm
and
pretty
learn
sure
the
we
spear's location.
I'm pretty sure we confirmed that at some point.
Well, I thought you confirmed that Jesmal's tomb is in the catacombs, and we assume that's where the
Yes.
spear is. but we
You
don't know
assume
for
that the
sure.
spear is buried with her. I mean,
Wait, this-
it's a fairly safe assumption.
That's the thing. I want info on Krolestra because I want to know where it is.
You
Legend lore will
you
tell
you
that.
know where the tomb is.
See,
Would Krolestra-
I know
would Legend lore give you
somewhere it
information of
definitely
where it is?
was, but we don't know for 100% if it's still there. So I was wondering if casting Legend Lore could confirm that.
yeah, I'm not sure if it's. I feel like we're better off using the 250 gold, like buying potions to go down there than. Well,
I mean, I don't think we need any more potions, do we?
no, but like it's more like in case because.
I mean, I guess I was just thinking that if we cast this and found out it wasn't even there, or we went down there and found out it wasn't even there, which is worse?
Legend lore will also not tell you if it's there for sure. It only tells you the
No.
history of it.
Right, okay, fair enough then.
Okay, well, we can cast Legend lore on something else if.
Yeah.
Well, like,
Legend
it
lore
might-
on the catacombs might be a better call if you want to know stuff about the catacombs, because it might tell you more about what the dangers you'll face is.
That's a good idea.
Mm,
I like the sound of that.
Okay.
I do
I
like
feel
the
like
sound
we
of
have
that.
the blueprints already, so
Yes, but that tells you the rough layout. It doesn't tell you like if there's any traps or what monsters lurk down there, if any.
true. But
There's at least so much some blueprints can tell us, and also those were slightly outdated blueprints.
Yes, there might have been there. Well, there almost certainly have been tunnel collapses since, which might have affected structural
Okay.
stability.
I mean, also, is it 200 gold worth of information?
250 gold.
Yeah.
Mm.
Because I don't think we have that much money at the moment.
Well, I have 350.
Yeah, I've got like
Give or take.
3 something.
Never mind, it's just me then.
320.
Yeah,
I
I've
just
got-
have
I've got
49. I have
200.
49, so.
Oh, high
Yeah.
five,
I'm in the
Arya.
same boat.
That's because Arya bought 10 million arrowheads. So
Yeah,
I did.
Oh, that's
Right.
we did buy a lot of arrows.
And
But-
we still have a gold leaf book worth 250 gold.
oh yes, you do.
I know
Oh,
that the legend lore thing was...
perfect.
Oh my god. Well, I know that the legend lore thing was my idea, but I'm not sure if it's super necessary in this case.
Well, take a look at your gold reserves because you can almost certainly buy incense if you have the money. But we will take a short break for me to get some
Okay.
water.
Okay.